for giving this talk, alongside being a doctoral student at Massey University, researching the impact of AI on older people and the organisations that serve them. By 2050, New Zealand will have a very large cohort of people aged 65 plus, 1.5 million, many of whom will not describe themselves as old. So the question isn't whether older people will be present in the AI future. We will be. The question is, what that future, will it be designed with us or without us? When we get to the end of my presentation, I hope that you've understood the demographics, the reasons and consequences of AI inclusion and exclusion, and addressed the very basic question, why is older people's data missing? And as we conclude, I'm going to ask to consider a few Zen lens across the topic. So let's start with the demographics. Not as easy as it seems. People over 65 in New Zealand is the cohort, but in some countries it's older people over the age of 50. And surely we're not all alike. Gender, exposure to digital tools in our working lives, culture, religion, health status, these are just a few factors that might be relevant. We've moved from paper to computers over the last 20 to 30 years. We've moved to the internet, then to mobile. And to their credit, governments, libraries, community groups, charities, and companies have invested in getting older people online. We ran courses on email, internet banking, forms, word processing, basic capacity building, and we built public access points, usually around a library. We used patient, human, community-centered learning. But here's the crucial thing, the difference between then and now. People could opt in gradually. It was a wave and not a tsunami. You could still walk into your bank branch. Online forms still had a paper version. If you didn't trust a website, you could phone somebody. Digital was expanding, but analog alternatives still existed. That mattered because digital inclusion is not just skills. It's confidence, trust, affordability, disability access, language, identity, and social support. So when people say AI is just another technology tool, I say AI isn't just a tool, it's a system of decision-making and influence. So what has changed? Organisations have changed, and to you that might not be completely obvious. AI is increasingly embedded and invisible, especially with older people's interactions. AI increases the stakes in high-impact domains: health, welfare, finance, transport, housing. In relationships with organisations, people must navigate to live well. Friction isn't just inconvenience, it becomes denial of access. You don't always see AI as a separate thing. You encounter it in triage, eligibility checks, fraud systems, customer service bots, recommendations, identity verification, and risk scoring. And let's not forget, it's the logic inside organisational services. Secondly, within these organisations, AI changes the economics of human contact. The business case is an efficiency priority, especially when human resources can be replaced by technology. But older people often need reassurance, explanation, and time. AI changes the threat landscape. Scams and manipulation, and we all know what's in the media at the moment about scams and manipulation and theft of data. So when AI can mimic language, style, and voice, just asking people to be careful online is no longer an adequate social response. So I've highlighted a few emerging issues, and I want you to be conscious of what those issues might be, covering things like fairness, transparency, accountability, human oversight, and societal well-being. And I recommend your consideration of how these might apply to the Zen of AI and design. So that was a long introduction. Now I'm going to actually address why are older people excluded from AI design. And strangely enough, we probably know this but don't think about it. The customer is not an older person. In many sectors, older people are not the paying client. Procurement teams, funders, insurers, agencies, and corporate decision makers are actually the clients. So designers who design the tools for us optimize for organizational goals, efficiency, cost reduction, risk management, rather than lived experience. So older people become managed users, not valued users. We also have the default user problem. Design teams are under time pressure work, so they use proxies to help them. They use early adopters, internal staff, work teams, and power users. So testing with older people is something that we end up doing later rather than earlier. And sometimes later means never. There's a data problem. AI systems learn from data, and if older people are underrepresented or reduced to a single category like 65 plus, the system can't see the real diversity. Different health status, culture, language, disability, income, family support. Older people is not a user type, it's population. Next, we have the participation cost. Co-design requires transport, confidence, time, compensation, and trust. If we are to bring older people together, they're the factors that we need to consider. And if we don't design participation properly, we get the same few voices, and those few voices other people may see as being totally representative of this amazing cohort. So the consequences are predictable. Systems that are efficient for organisations, but exhausting for the people who have to live with them. So I'm going to have a look now at a few Zen issues. So one of them is laws and regulation. Accountability doesn't vanish. AI is often adopted faster than governance can adapt. That creates a practical gap. Who is responsible when an AI-enabled system causes harm, locks someone out, or makes an unfair decision? Older people feel this gap sharply because they interact with high-stakes systems more often through health, income support, banking safeguards, identity checks. So the Zen question is, when something goes wrong, can a person find a person? And can we fix it? Because human oversight is not a slogan, it's a pathway. So another Zen principle comes from inclusion. Digital first becomes digital only. But inclusion isn't just training individuals, it's service design. When systems move to app-only authentication, chat-only support, and portal-only access, we quietly punish people who are cautious, low in confidence, disabled, or simply not equipped with the latest device. So the issue is not older people resisting, it's, are we building services with more than one safe doorway? A genuine assisted channel without stigma, delay, or extra cost is often the difference between inclusion and exclusion. And I think the Zen principle here might be, compassion is operational. And social well-being. So we can't talk about AI and older people without acknowledging the broader environment, energy use and infrastructure, human labour, and I'm thinking there about things like labelling that is being done being done by people on low wages in third world countries, and care work, dignity and human connection, the social cost of automation, and the ethics of shifting care to machines because humans are expensive. A strong ethical question here isn't can we, it's what kind of society are we conjuring into existence? Because if we normalise automated care, automated decisions, and automated persuasion without social safeguards, older people will experience those consequences first and hardest. And I think the Zen principle there might be, a society is judged by how it treats people when they are most dependent on its systems. So my closing message, AI is not going away. It will shape the everyday lives of older people, often invisibly, and unlike previous tech waves, many of these systems will be unavoidable. And the Zen of AI is, for me, optimization is a value choice. If we optimize only for speed and cost, we trade away inclusion, dignity, and trust. If we want a calmer, safer AI future, we need people in the design room early, because wisdom, life experience, and foresight are not edge cases. They're part of what makes us humane. Thank you.